My apologies. My dog barks and barks and barks. One of them. So she's currently. I'm on the live stream. You need me? Okay. Thank you for tuning in to Manifest with Mo. I am Mo Mahaney Jeanette, and here we talk about all things manifesting because everything you see, you, me, we are all a manifestation of the mind of the Most High because we were first a thought, right? A thought in the mind of the Most High before we materialize into matter. So, therefore, it is always mind over matter. Thank you for the sound check, Reese. So today, I'm here to ask you, do you need help manifesting? And when I say manifesting, I mean manifesting intentionally. What does that mean? It means to manifest what it is that you have set out to get, what it is you have set out to bring into your life. Because we're always manifesting. Everything you see is a manifestation. It was first a thought in the mind, and my kittens are, get down, Coffee Brown, get down from there. Okay, sorry y'all. They're going towards our food in the garden, our crops. So um everything is a manifestation. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I've been here, right, for years now, creating these videos. We've been here creating these videos for years now. Right now, we do have the majority, except for one other video besides this one, live stream. They are private right now because we're working on just smoothing things out and having our videos more polished. So that's what we're currently working on. So that's why those videos are private right now. If you have a particular video that you wanted to revisit, re-listen to, rewatch, let me know in the comment section below, and I can send you an email with the link to be able to watch that video. So yeah, today we're talking about getting help with manifesting, with intentionally manifesting, but we're specifically going to be speaking about through community, through calm unity. All right, so doing that together in unity, which essentially is co-creating, and co-creating is working with, for one, the Most High, right, the creator of us all, to create your own reality. But also you can co-create with other people by having a main goal that you're focused on in the world, building the world that you desire to live in. Even if you have a particular goal and the is not someone else's goal in your community, they can still help you by envisioning with you. So I always say to make sure that whoever it is that you're sharing, if you're going to share what it is that you desire to manifest, you have to make sure and you have to know that this person is for you. They want what you want for you. They want the best for you. Because if not, it can backfire on you. It can hinder you, and we're going to talk about that today. So, building a sense of community, not even a sense of community, a community to co-create with. It's going to take you, I feel like it can take you out of your comfort zone. Um but really it's going to move you into your comfort zone. But first, mentally, you may feel as if it's pulling you out of your comfort zone. But I want you to look at it this way. If you are around people, whether it's your parents, your significant other, siblings, cousins, children, whoever, right? If you're around these people and you constantly feel uncomfortable anyway, right? You constantly feel like they're looking down on you, they're talking about you, they treat you bad, but you're there out of love, right? Because in some weird, twisted way, which is, it happens more often than it should, this is your comfort zone because this is what you're used to. So this is your place of comfort. So the first thing is to try to break free. I know that that's not always feasible for people. It's not always something that people have available to them to be able to move out, to get away from these particular people. But mentally, and most importantly spiritually, you can begin to build a community with like-minded people. So today I chose to drink out of this mug, right? It's July 22nd. um and I'm showing you this because just walk with me because it's gonna tie in. All right, so this is considered a Halloween mug, right? Because Snoopy and Woodstock have on what's considered to be witches hats. It's a bubbling cauldron here, which looks like it's some type of potion being brewed. And Woodstock is on top of a crystal ball. So you have a lot of witchery being displayed, right? Now, I don't want to be around the type of people who would feel like because it's July and not October, I shouldn't drink out of this mug, or I can't drink out of this mug. That is stupid to drink out of this mug. Stay with me, because when I'm saying it, as I'm saying this, you may be thinking like that's silly. Who would think that? Trust me, there are people who think that. And people who think that, their belief system is so limited that they only go with the societal norm. I'm going to say it again. Their belief system is so limited that they only go along with the societal norm. So if society okays it for them, then it's okay for them to do. If it's a no-no to society, as minuscule as just, and frivolous as it is to just be simply sipping my coffee from a Halloween mug, right? But there are certain people who just won't do it. It goes against their norm. It goes against their what's on trend. It goes against, all of those things, because it's the summertime and they may feel like I should be sipping my coffee from a floral print mug. I don't know. I don't know, because I don't respectfully, I don't care to know, because that's not my mindset. And you have to get to that place where you are comfortable in the skin that you're in, you are comfortable in the world that you're in, you are comfortable in the mindset that you are in. So my people know that I'm gonna pull whatever mug it is, and if I feel like it's Halloween today, and if I say, hey, let's watch help me, Maurice.
What's that?
Maurice is sitting right. Is Maurice my people? Because he's sitting right here. He can't give me. You not listening, Maurice, are you? Now a movie. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus. Yeah, Hocus Pocus. Right. Hocus Pocus. They all in. Let's watch it in April. Why do we have to wait till October to watch it?
I was watching Warlock.
See, why do we have to wait? Why do we have to wait? Vampire in Brooklyn is a classic. I mean, yeah, Vampire in Brooklyn, sorry, is a classic. We're gonna bust that out anytime. Does it really give a Halloween vibe? It doesn't. But some people may limit themselves to watching it only during the Halloween season. So that's just an example, okay? Stay with me, walk with me. We're going somewhere with this. So
You mind if I give you another example?
I don't mind at all.
So, just think about people that play sports, for example.
Hmm.
They're great in high school, and they get recruited by a huge university, and they go off to college. And then they finish their college career. They're super athletic. They're getting ready to get drafted into professional ball. Now, what happens is over this stretch between high school, college, and professional, they're consistently changing their entourage.
Hmm.
A lot of the people that they once dealt with don't have the same beliefs or vision that they have.
Hmm.
And so what they do is they start to align themselves with people that share that vision, that want to manifest with them
Hmm.
to become the super athlete or whatever it is that they're going to become. A lot of it is because of the money.
Hmm.
But what happens is they're still on the same page. They align with the same goal, and they come together to manifest that goal, and they stick together on manifesting that goal. So it's a visual, or basically it's like the agent is gonna paint the picture.
Hmm.
The player's gonna see the picture and roll with it, and then everybody else that he's come in contact with, that he's molding his camp around, will see that picture as well, see it painted, and they're all gonna go for that goal, so to speak.
Hmm.
Now they're all manifesting as one.
Yes.
That was the example. It's just, moving pieces out of the way to bring other pieces in that are gonna commingle with what you're manifesting.
Right. And I want to go on the flip side of that. Um, and thank you, Maurice. Thank you, because that was beautifully put in exactly what this message is about today. Building and creating a community that you successfully, intentionally manifest and co-create with. And on the flip side of that is, what if this player does not want to play football?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the main focus today is, are you doing what it is that you desire, and you building a community to do what it is that you desire? People ask our son a lot, when they first meet him, oh, what sports do you play? uh what You play football? um oh, you're a pretty big boy. What? Oh, you must be good at this or that. And he, because of the cultural norm around sports, with boys, right, it it made him feel a little, I wouldn't say uneasy, but caught off guard, because we don't push sports. And so when people are, this is the first thing that they mention when when they meet him. He kind it kind of I feel like it kind of, what do I want to say? Help me. The word I'm looking for is, it kind of, not catches him off guard, but, y'all, the word is right on the tip of my tongue. But anyways, there's been plenty of times where I jump right in and I say, he's not into sports, he's into computers. He's into creating and building things with his hands. He's into um intellectual activities, or intellectual stimulation. Not to say that sports that there's nothing intellectual about it at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. So I don't want anyone to feel like I'm knocking someone for playing sports or that being their main focus. But that's just not what he's into. And some people may look and think it's weird for him not to be, this teenager not to be interested in sports or play sports or never have played, team sports. So we as a community constantly, um I wouldn't even say constantly, have to reassure him, because we walk together on the same path, and we know what his interests are, and so we validate him, we motivate him, we encourage him, and we provide him with what he needs in order to continue building his skills in these particular areas of interest. So, what if you are, in a sense, right? In a sense, so we're just using this as an example. What if you are the football player who doesn't want to play football, but your parents are pushing you, your community, right, is pushing you in this direction? And so, what's happening now? Your creative power and visualization skills are being used to create a world that you don't even desire to live in. You are manifesting someone else's desire. You are co creating a desired result of someone else. So it's very important, as I said, to build your community with people who desire the same thing and are like minded people. That's why it's very important to in align with and connect with your intuition, because you have to know what's in front of you. You have to you have to know what's going on around you. You have to be able to feel that and sort these things out and decipher what is going on, because there's so many cults that we there's cults that are considered cults, and then there's cults that are considered religious groups, there's cults that are considered schools, there's cults that are considered so many things, and what they are doing is simply using your power, right, your manifestation power, to create what it is that they desire, like a pyramid scheme, using the people at the bottom to build up those and lift those up to the top at the peak and the pinnacle of that pyramid, right? So, I want to talk a little bit more about, we consider witching, witchery, witch culture, witch activity, right? It's considered, I don't want to say we, but the social construct, right, that we interact with, considers witches to be what we would call a cult. But what does a cult mean? A cult is simply hidden knowledge. And why is it hidden? Because, well, there's reasons, so we can get into that in a different video, but most of the time it's hidden because the knowledge that's usually within occult societies is freeing. It's freeing. The knowledge that is widespread is entrapment, is entertainment, is enslavement, all of these things. So it's very, very important for us to be mindful of words and how they're chosen, and what we say and what we do, and just looking into things and observing. Observing with a, I don't particularly want to say open mind, Because if you think about opening the mind up to certain things, then now you're allowing that in to penetrate. So I'm not going to use that term, but what I will say is observe, and to not look at everything from a defensive point of view, but realize that we really know nothing. You can know so much and really only be scratching the surface and really know nothing at all. So let's move back into this topic of co-creating with community, because I want to wrap this video up within the next 10 minutes. So as we were speaking of co-creating with community, um, is being with those like-minded people. No, you're not going to agree on everything, and that's the beauty of life, the diversity, the ebb and flow. And it would just be boring if everybody agreed on everything, right? So, but having some base principles, knowing what it is that you desire, right? Knowing what it is or who it is that you desire to have in your community. Because when you build, when you're building together, you're co creating together, you're focused together, you're living together, then you begin to thrive together, because now you're visualizing, and that is empowering your community. What empowers this society is the mental power of the people within the society that make up the society. We talked about this before. That's why there's so many movies that are put out, and people say, "Oh, it was predictive programming." Why is it predictive programming? Is it predictive programming, or is it premeditated? And I said that slow for a reason. Meditated. Premeditated. So it was premeditated, right? So what do you do? What is the past tense of meditating? Right? Oh, I meditated this morning. So premeditated, it was put in the minds of those, and you meditated on it, because meditation is just deep focus. You subconsciously meditated on it by large masses, right? Large masses of people premeditated it, and so then it came into reality. So what happens when you are able to focus on what it is? Just a second. I'm getting the message. So I'm not, someone just came into the live stream, and whew, I have goosebumps. Your you've been I want to say they're saying scared to think outside of the box. I don't know why I'm hearing the name Emily. I don't know. So this has to do with you or somebody you know. I'm not sure. Emily or some name that sounds like that. Amelia, Imelda, um, Amalia. I'm not exactly sure like who this ancestor is. If you feel comfortable putting in the chat, then do so. All right. Um, Eliza, I actually have an ancestor. Maurice and I both have ancestors with that name. But you're being told that you're protected. You're divinely protected. You have been protected. Your family has always been protected. But when you go off the beaten path, in this sense, I'm not going to say beaten path. When you go off because the beaten path is the one that's most worn, right? That's most walked. Um, and so in that sense, it could be that you're going with the norm if you go on the beaten path. But this path particularly is beating because your ancestors have walked and walked and walked, and I'm talking about in the spiritual realm. They have walked and walked and walked this path for you. It has been premeditated. All right, that word is coming back for you. So it's very important for you to speak your truth, to realize that you are protected. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Um, that everything shall unfold in a way that it is meant to and in your favor. So stop being scared, stop being afraid. The only harm that could come to you is harm that you allow. So get out of your head in the sense of worry, um, because it's time for you to speak your truth. And you have to first speak that truth to yourself. So, in this sense of building a community, break away from those people, those naysayers, limit conversation with them, um, change the subject when it's if it's something always negative or repetitive. Um, and then there's simply going to be times when it hurts, when it's uncomfortable. It may almost feel unbearable to you because you're so used to these people being in your life. You're so used to them being your comfort zone, even in a, you know, in the way that it's set up. Put it that way. No judgment here. Um, but in the way that it's set up, you may be thinking like, why do I keep doing this? Like, why do I keep staying here? Why do I keep bending over backwards? Why do I keep doing this, doing whatever? And you know that it's out of love, but you may feel foolish for doing it. Then it's time to stop, and it's time to go within yourself, and those people who are meant to be with you and in your community, because we are communal beings. We are communal beings. There are those of us who um are perfectly fine being alone, and prefer to live in solitude, but the majority of us desire to be loved, desire to be close to someone, desire to commune with others on a daily basis. And so, to those of you who have those particular desires, first go within because you need to know who you are. You need to know what you like, what you love. You need to know what you don't like. You need to know what you're not going for. You need to know what you're going to stand for and what you're going to stand against in order to set those boundaries, in order to express that to other people. This is another thing that's very, very important when building community is, don't assume that, I'll put it this way, right? Um, I'm not going to, I haven't really assumed that, oh, my husband should just go buy me flowers. How did he know before I said it that I like flowers? Like, everyone is not going to just jump up and go buy someone flowers. They don't know if you have allergies. They may have an allergy to flowers. They may just forget. They may not think about it. So it doesn't hurt me though to say, hey, Maurice, I would like fresh flowers every Friday, for example, right? You don't know how hard it is for a lot of people to voice their opinion. They just assume from a place of entitlement that someone is supposed to guess how they feel and guess what it is that they desire. Well, if you don't speak that, right, that person may never have experienced that desire. They may have never ever had the desire to be gifted fresh flowers. So, why should you assume that they're just going to do this for you? That's why it's talking and taking your time in the beginning of any relationship, even between a mother and child, talking and taking your time, not rushing, right? Say if you have 5 boxes of cereal, instead of rushing and saying, I'm pouring Cheerios today, get up early enough to take the time to say, hey, come in And even before they can fully express what they want, they can come in and they can point out what they want. Instead of shoving a color in their face because you assume this is what they should like, maybe because of their gender, maybe because you like the color, whatever it is, just observe and see what it is that they like. This is how you build community. It starts first in the home, right? It starts first in the home. Watching and observing and following your children around to see what toys they gravitate to see what it is that they want to watch instead of putting on something and telling them this is what you're going to watch. Because when you do that, eventually we're going to have you're going to have two things, right? You're going to have or two things that may possibly happen. One, when it's forced and you're always choosing, you're always telling them, sure, you can have a sense of community, but they're just going to be a worker bee within their community. And you're basically an energy vampire, draining them to create this picture perfect society amongst yourself and within your community that you desire to see. And so they may be numb, they may dissociate, they may be very, very unhappy unless they happen to be just like you, right? And I just feel that that's very, very selfish, and it's also a false sense of community because what you've actually done is created a structure that works perfectly for you, but at the expense of your child's happiness. So, flip side of that is watching them, and then you're now you're empowering them, and you have a true sense of community if you are actually alike, because we have to also remember that all of us aren't may not get along well enough no matter what you do as a parent, um to build a sense of community. And those children, as hard as it is to say or to think about, like, you have to just let them go out into the world and just live the life that they desire to live, right? um so I guess there is a third option here, which is my ideal, right? But again, it's my ideal, is to build that sense of community where your children feel supported, loved, encouraged. They're able to give feedback. They're able to pour their heart into the community, and is now shaped and molded through generational love, through generational intellect, through generational cultural experiences, and all of these things build and shape your family as it grows and descends down the line. So, the thing is, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to give you examples and share my personal experience. So that is why I'm here to share my personal experience, right? So, community building, can we say it's easy? Some probably can. Um, it does come with its challenges. It does come with, I think the biggest challenge though is getting out of our own way, actually listening, actually hearing, actually receiving the message, the knowledge. The We live in a society which is a patriarchal society where it's more so like, I'm putting my foot down. So daddy's masculine, mama's masculine, a lot of the times, and it's a lot of, without us realizing it, hostile energy just flying around and floating around. So we have to pull that feminine energy in, that softness and that ability to listen, the ability to be, what is it, slow to speak but quick to hear. I can't remember if that's the exact quote or verse, but Um, we have to live and dwell in that space as well, and really have a balance of the masculine feminine energy, because that's the only way that we really are able to live harmoniously. Because that's the thing, right? We desire, at least from my space, desire, and I feel like if you're here and you've been drawn to this video, then you desire to have a harmonious community. And it's such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. Did you have anything to add, Reese?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. So was it clear?
Mm-hmm.
The message is clear on
Yes.
community building in order to manifest the desires of that.
Yes.
So that's another thing. That's the main thing as we wrap this up, right? Because our focus here is intentional manifesting. So what is it, like Maurice gave that perfect example of the football player who desired to go pro, to be outstanding, right? To be exceptional, to be a star, had his team around him in this sense of community, this community pushing for him to, and they all knew what they wanted, and everybody who plays a part in that knows what they want, right? But the manager has a wide scope on everything and can see and knows where to place people within this community. So what you have to know what it is that you desire. Do you desire to have a homestead? And say if you desire to have a homestead but your children are kind of like, you know,
Not with it.
not with it. Maybe they want to live more of a fast-paced life. Maybe they, I don't know. But what I'm gonna say to you is there are things within that homestead, right, that you can tailor it to meet their focus as well, and express the importance of it, at least until they go off and find their own community, right? If that's what they're going to do. But if you have a child who loves electronics, right, they can be the one who figures out how, or help you figure out how to get the solar up and running, how to get the grid going, and they can maintain that. And it will give them a sense of community, but also responsibility, and it will fulfill that need um, to not need that satisfaction, right, of working with these electronics. Also, if you have a child that likes to tinker and build things, well, then it's perfect for them, right? If you have a child who's a fashion designer and wants to sew, they have a job too, because if you're off grid, maybe you're so far away from a store that if a pair of pants is ripped or a shirt needs to be made, whatever it is, now this child has satisfaction in being able to um tailor or sew, these clothes. So there's just different ways to be able to help fulfill and not only look for self satisfaction, um and do things that we just want to do. We have to realize, hey, I have other people here who desire to do this. And that goes for a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, giving everyone a satisfying role if possible, not just thinking of the self. All right. So I feel like this is something that we'll need to go into deeper on another time. But just finding out who you are, learning who your family is, that's what allows you to build a sense of community. And also I want to specify that there's so many aspects of community. It doesn't mean that everyone is going to just have that same like mind, because then again, that's more borderline cult. So, just because you don't have, what I want to say, you don't even have to live in the same vicinity to have a community, because it's just you coming together in unity, right? So, yeah, we'll talk about this more later. Um, but hey, Mook, just 1 second. Um, yeah, we were led to bring this message to you today. So, what is it that you desire to see? Like I said, maybe we'll live stream tomorrow and we could talk more in depth about this and focusing and how someone else can help you manifest really quickly. I keep saying really quickly, but this is very important. I talked about this before. Um, when when we were manifesting our home, not only did we go, but I remember my brother came, my mom came down, like we all, my sister, we all walked through the house. I think my grandma came down, my dad, we walked through the house. The realtor actually let us come to the house like 3 or 4 times. So the first time Maurice and I went, and I think my brother, and then the second time we all went, walked through the house, felt it out, and all of us envisioned it together without even speaking about it. I didn't know anything about intentionally manifesting or anything of that nature, right? So none of us did at that point in our lives. So we unintentionally manifested through visualizing without even speaking those words to each other. But we were saying, hey, this can go here, this can go there. We didn't even know what we were doing. We just knew that we all desired that home for um Maurice, my brother, and myself. Like we desired to have this home. So and it worked. So that's an example of a community coming together and visualizing and co-creating together. All right. So another example, and we're going to cut the live stream for today, is when we manifested the Jeep. I told y'all this before, but I know the video is private right now. But Marie said, come on, let's go and test drive one. And so we went as a family. We all got in the Jeep. We drove it around. It worked out that the, C-19 hit, right? So things changed where now you just showed your ID and you were able to drive off. So there wasn't a salesperson in the car with us, because that changes the energy a lot. So it was just us. We drove around in it. And so we were able to really feel just us, our family, being in the Jeep. And that as a community, right? My community manifested it for me. Do I still use it as a family vehicle? Yes. But it was it okay. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. Can you hear me, Reese?
I'm checking.
Okay. Cause I know to cut the audio out sometimes.
I hear you.
Okay, thank you. But it was my dream, right, to have a Jeep. Um so my community, as I said, participating and helping me. So that's the way to get help, is through community. And so we're here, right? Those of you who are our virtual community, our spiritual community, and you're seeking help and you want to do, you send, and this is, I'm not soliciting to you. I'm not selling anything to you. Send those emails and just say, hey, could you please just, take 5 minutes out your day and just, this is my goal that I desire to focus on. Send it to the email manifest with Mo. That's MOH. So manifest with Mo at gmail.com. And We will see it, and as a community we can focus with you. If you feel comfortable enough, leave it in the chat. Leave it in the chat if you feel comfortable enough for us to focus with you, and know that your ancestors are overpowering anybody that is trying to come before you or against you. All right. So, love you all so much. Thank you for everybody who joined in on the live stream. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up so it can get out into the algorithm, as well as subscribe. We're going to be getting the links in for our Patreon and everything, but we are also Manifest with Mo on Patreon. That's Manifest with MOH on Patreon as well. So you can find us over there on Patreon. I don't have the links here. I need to go in and add those things to the description of this live stream, as well as the prior live stream, the two that are available right now. Okay, so love you all so much. Happy Tuesday. We are transitioning from Cancer season to Leo season. So happy summer to everyone, and a beautiful Leo season to you all. Okay, and talk to you soon.